Okay. Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. So, we will continue the story of Gilgamesh, and this is the third part. So, the first part, Gilgamesh, the king, and he was a bad king, and he met with Enkidu and fight with Enkidu. They become friends, and he became a good king because he had friends. He knows human feeling, taking care of people. He's the best king. And the second part is Ishtar, the revenge of Ishtar. Ishtar is kind of a sorcière, and wanted to marry him. Wanted Gilgamesh to be her husband, and Gilgamesh did not want, and then Ishtar had several different ways of revenge, and Gilgamesh's friend Shamat, and Enkidu died. So the last one, this is the last one, is about Gilgamesh's last wish, last conquest, and last goal in his life, to search for immortality. So let's get to the last quest of Gilgamesh. So there was one day, and at the end of a river, at the mouth of a river at the end of the world, there lies a quite exhausted, wrecked, tired, and just a miserable state man. Could this be Gilgamesh, the all-powerful king of Uruk, the king that was loved by the people, the king that has famously made the very tall wall, magnificent wall, and the king that was so well respected in the ancient world? Could that be Gilgamesh? And what brought him to this lonely place, without food, without people around, and only he himself lying there on the ground? And yes, it was Gilgamesh. And the thing that brought him here was the fear of death. Death has taken away his dearest, best friend Enkidu, and even earlier had taken away the life of the beautiful lady, beautiful singer, not Ishtar, oh gosh, Shamat. And he loved them both, and they were the core of his life, and they all left. So as Gilgamesh watched their life gone, their spirit raised to the sky in the form of birds. He made a decision. He resolved to the decision that he will get rid of death. Gilgamesh is on his last mission, last conquest, last quest to find the secret of immortality. He had searched far and wide, yet he hadn't found anything. So now here he was laying there exhausted, and he suddenly heard a familiar voice. So he opened his eyes and he saw a bird. That was the spirit of Shamat, and returned here to help him. Do not give up, Gilgamesh. Look there, between those peaks of Mashu mountain, the sun god goes down to sleep. By day he sees everything. He knows where immortality lies. Rise up and follow his path. You will find your way. You will find your solution. You will find the secret of immortality. So Gilgamesh took all his strength, and he did not know he had this much strength. He was so surprised. He could still stand up, and he could still continue his search. He was very surprised. He thought he was not going to conquer the death, and he was thinking that might be the death will take him away. But no, not the time. It's not yet his number. The mountain was steep, and he could not keep up with this steep mountain. The sun went down, and darkness started to crawl in. The moon cast a very eerie, very scary, very cold kind of shadow. Jagged stone tore at his clothes, and beasts attacked him. He fought them off and pressed on, determined to catch up with the sun. He wanted to go to the sun because the sun knows everything. Everything happens under the sun and cannot escape the sun. So he came near the top of the mountain. He heard a desperate cry for help. This is a baby lion. A lion cub had fallen off a cliff. Gilgamesh reached down and rescued the little animal, as Enkidu had once saved him from falling off the city wall. So he stretched out his arm. Remember how he was saved? It was Enkidu stretched out his arm and hold Gilgamesh. And now he's doing exactly the same thing. He stretched out his arm and hold on to the little lion, the lion cub, the baby lion. And he saved the baby lion. Two giant scorpions screamed, "How dare you come here? We got the kingdom of the sun. Go back if you still want to live." Gilgamesh faced them. Definitely, he's not afraid. "I have come to find the sun god. Let me pass," he ordered. "You let me pass." The scorpions were amazed at the courage of Gilgamesh. They have never seen someone so brave. "We will help you and your little friend." They were immediately just, sometimes courage is power. Proof again. They lowered Gilgamesh and the lion cub into a deep abyss. "Find the light and follow it." Gilgamesh was in a freezing tunnel of terrible creatures. He hugged the frightened cub close. He held the little baby close. There were snakes, there were crocodiles, there were, what was the other? There were bats, there were dragons, there were all these so eerie looking, ugly looking monsters. So after long hours of wandering in the dark, it was a dark tunnel. You cannot see anything underground. So he was just holding the little baby lion, walk, and walked long hours. He saw a ray of light. If we have trouble, one thing we should not do is to stop. We should always keep on moving. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. So Gilgamesh came out into brilliant sunshine. It was the garden of the sun god. It was paradise. Never did leaves sparkle so beautifully, jadish like jewel. Flowers gives out such intoxicating perfume. Animals appear so gentle, so kind. Why not rest here, the sun god offered. But Gilgamesh refused. "I must find immortality. Thank you for your kindness, for your generosity. This is the most beautiful place, but I have a mission. I have a mission because I have lost two of my dearest friends, and that is the mission that they give me." He took it personally. He took it as a responsibility to find the secret of immortality. So, sun god, please help me. So the sun god told him, "The only human who knows the secrets is Utnapishtim. This is quite difficult to pronounce. Utna, Utnapish, Pish, Tim, Utnapishtim, Tim. The sun god said, "I will lead you to him." The sun god was also quite touched by his determination. Gilgamesh followed the sun as it led him across the burning sand of desert. The lion cub collapsed from the heat. Gilgamesh lifted him gently onto his back and kept going. So he carried the baby lion, half blinded by the dust. Longing for a drink of water, he struggled on. And when we go to Death Valley, the first thing we know, we heard, and just from our gut feeling, we have water prepared. And Gilgamesh didn't have water. It's hard to imagine, right? And he struggled on, dragging his feet in the sand. At last, on the distance or horizon, on the distant horizon, he saw a magnificent house covered with wine, like ivy, like these leaves. He reached it exhausted. At the door, a beautiful woman looked with horror at the ragged stranger, because he has been walking so long, and the little baby lion was also exhausted. I am no beggar. No, don't be afraid. I'm not a beggar, Gilgamesh said. I am a king. I have come to find Utnapishtim and immortality. And the girl told him, you can't find him. He lives on an island protected by the water of death. Give up the search. Stay with me. I am Siduri. I make wine for the gods. Drink, dance, be happy. Your life will be good. Stay with me. I am the wine maker. I have come through too much to give up. Oh, this is so true. This book is long. I was not thinking of reading it, but I have been going through so much. I cannot give up. I have to keep on, Gilgamesh said. Help me. Lend me your boat. And Siduri said, only the sun can cross these deadly waters. They destroy every oar they touch. But Gilgamesh was determined. He went to the forest. There he chopped 120 poles and set out. He chopped a lot of tree trunks, 120 pieces of them. He reached the deadly part of the sea. Pole after pole was swallowed, leaving only stumps in his hand. So he put a lot of his poles in the water. The water raged wildly. Gilgamesh pushed on, throwing away each stump, and grabbed a new pole. Around him floated the bones of creatures that had been devoured by the water of death. So he was passing through the water of death, and it's not clean water, it's not clear water, it's the water that floated everywhere with bones, because people die, creatures die, everything that jump into the water will be dead. The skies darkened, and fierce, and a very, very strong wind blew up as his last paw was eaten away. Oh my. He had no more paws. He could see the island, but how could he reach it? Oh my goodness, I have no more paw. I must not fail now, he cried. I'm too close to the end of my search. Oh, this is so This is so encouraging. Oh, he never gave up. In the last desperate attempt, he took off his torn sheet and raised it to the wind to make a sail. Use his shirts to make a sail. Utnapishtim watched, amazed, as the boat reached shore. Who are you to come here? Are you a god or man? I am Gilgamesh, king of Uruk, he replied very proudly. I come to ask the secret of immortality. And then Utnapishtim told him, you do not seek for things that you cannot have. Only gods can live forever. Humans are not immortal. Only gods are immortal. You are mortal being. But you were once no different than me, Gilgamesh argued. How did you become immortal? And Utnapishtim told him, if you want to know that, you must stay awake 6 days and 7 nights. My story is carved into this wall. You may not sleep while I read it. So Utnapishtim pointed to the wall. There are a lot of clay in carving walls. I need to read, and to read this story takes me 6 days, 7 nights, and you have to make sure that you do not fall asleep. That's a tough job. I myself now is almost falling asleep. And you could not sleep. So for Gilgamesh, he thought, that was easy. I do not need to fight anybody. I do not need to walk around and go to dangerous water just to listen to the story. Okay, deal? Deal, no deal? Deal. So he said. And Utnapishtim started. When I was king of Shurupak, the people became evil. The gods decided to destroy the earth with a great flood. Oh my goodness, flood. In Chinese mythology, there was flood. In Greek mythology, there was flood. I think in every mythology there is this or that way, there are stories about flood. Because I was a good man, I was warned. I was told to build a great ark. Together, my family and each kind of animal and plant to the boat. As soon as I finished, the storm came. For 6 days and 7 nights, it rained, and the earth was flooded. The earth was flooded. On my boat, but only my boat survived. When the rain stopped and the water subsided, it came to rest on a mountain. I fell to my knee in gratitude. I let out the animals and set out the plans to start life anew. In that moment, the gods descended in a great light and bestowed immortality upon me and my wife. So he went through all the hard things. Then the God bestowed him immortality. Utnapishtim finished his story, and he looked down. Gilgamesh was asleep. He had failed the test. Utnapishtim spoke with sadness. Gilgamesh, a mortal you came here. A mortal you must live. Gilgamesh begged, give me another chance, please. Utnapishtim took mercy on him and softened his stance. See the light far in the sea? A plant grows there that grants you use and grants to all the people who eat it. Grant them use. It will not keep you from dying, but it will keep you young as long as you live. So if you eat it, you may eventually die, but it will keep you young. As long as you are alive, you will be young. Gilgamesh sailed out again across the deadly sea. He reached the glowing spot and leaped into the water, not knowing if it would destroy him. He grasped the plant and struggled with it and to the surface. When I am old too, shall eat it and get back to my lost youth and strength. Gilgamesh set out on a long voyage home. He had not found immortality, but he held a treasure. The boat passed a lovely island, and Gilgamesh stopped to eat fresh fruit and take some rest. He fell into a peaceful sleep, dreaming of the happiness he was bringing back to his people. He did not see the serpent slithering down from a tree. He awoke to hear the evil voice of Ishtar. my revenge, she screamed. You have nothing. She had swallowed the flower where he slept. While he slept, he held the flower, Gilgamesh, but Ishtar has swallowed the flower. Ishtar now had the revenge she wanted ever since Gilgamesh rejected her offer of marriage. Ishtar, you wicked me, you tricked me, Gilgamesh cried. You killed my friend Enkidu. Now you have killed hope. He hugged the little lion and wept. He had come through so much to have it all end like this. Suddenly, he heard a voice calling him. His beloved Enkidu has returned. They embraced with joy. Shamat sent me from the underworld to help you, Enkidu explained. Sit on my back with your little lion. I have something to show you. Together, they flew over the rivers of Sumer as far as the city of Uruk. Gilgamesh saw his kingdom from above for the very first time. And that time there was no June. He could not see with his own feet because at this moment he was above the sky. It was Enkidu who transformed himself into a bird, carrying him and carrying the little lion. So he could be on top of the city and watch the people, the life under him. So this was the first time he saw it. He saw its great temples. He saw its beautiful, fine houses. He saw its beautiful gardens and most impressive, the majestic wall he had built all around it. His heart filled with pride and happiness that is greater than he had never felt that feeling of proud. Here, Gilgamesh is the immortality you have sought, Enkidu said. The city you built, the courage you showed, the good you have done, you will live in the heart of the people of Uruk. It is the determination, it is the courage, it is the good deeds, it is our spirit put us live alive forever. Our life can be gone. it's just flesh. But our spirit can carry. For Gilgamesh, his spirit carried on for thousands of years. For us, maybe just the sound of this story is my contribution to the world, and it will stay, for sure stay. I love you. I really do. Do.